Hey, what is up, everyone? In this video, I wanted to talk about how you can ungate on Amazon FBA and ungate these brands in October 2024. I know I made a video a couple months back, and that video did amazing. I got tons of feedback, tons of comments, and honestly, I'm very happy that I was able to provide as much value as possible. And in that time frame, a few things has happened, especially on the Amazon platform, but I still sell on Amazon. Right now, I'm doing about $450,000 in monthly revenue on Amazon FBA. So let me just, I guess, pull that up to help, just prove that and to help you guys understand that I do know what I'm talking about and I'm here to help you. I'm not a fraud. Here's the number just to update. I'm not sure if it's actually showing, but I have a screenshot at the end. But yeah, I'm doing 440K a month. So how would you ungate on Amazon FBA in 2024, right? I guess to get started, I wanted to highlight why brands are, gating all of these things on Amazon. And, honestly, it's not a bad thing, right? Amazon gates these brands to help prevent any unauthorized sellers from ruining the brand name. In 2024, there are a lot of sellers who are looking to deceive the system, deceive on the Amazon platform. And it's honestly a big problem these days. And the way Amazon responding is by gating these brands and making it more difficult for sellers to have access to them. But not to worry, this is just a small roadblock when it comes to selling on Amazon. And honestly, it's not even that big of a roadblock. Like, yes, for me, I sell on Amazon and sometimes I have trouble, but there's a proven system, a 9-step system that I implement on a day-to-day basis to help me get ungated. And even if I don't get ungated, there are ways around it in order for me to eventually get myself access to those brands, right? It's actually a good thing. A lot of people say it's not is a bad thing, it's a terrible thing, which I guess could be seen as that. But if you have a mindset shift and you are more open to this idea, it's actually a very, very good thing. So why is it a good thing, right? Because these brands are gated, it poses a much higher barrier to entry. As you know, Amazon FBA in of itself isn't the highest barrier of entry business model. A lot of beginners hop on it, to make a quick buck or so, which is a great thing, right? If that's something that you want to do, go do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But that also means by having these brands being gated, there's less competition. A lot of people, the first couple brands that they hop on would be Nike, Adidas, Lego, Under Armour, those really big brands. But in reality, there's a lot of other brands that are, very, very good. Nike and Lego are just the low hanging fruit. By having those brands being gated or very, very hard to ungate, this process weeds out a lot of the lazier sellers, quote unquote, lazier sellers who apply once, they get rejected, and they move on with their life and they don't really think of being persistent. With Amazon, one of the skills required to be successful would be to be consistent, to show up every day and be persistent. New errors, new problems arise on a day-to-day basis. So as long as you keep hacking at it and going at it, eventually you will be approved. You will be able to sell that brand that you really want to sell. And that's just the reality of selling on Amazon in 2024. And no one really talks about that. So I might be the first. Maybe I'm not the first. I'm not sure. But I'm definitely one of the rare people that actually will be as transparent as possible when it comes to selling on the Amazon platform, right? So by following the 9-step system, and it's a proven system that I implement on a day-to-day basis, you should have no problem with getting these brands ungated as soon as possible, right? So just, I'm going to go into that right now. So here are some stores, some retail stores that you can use to ungate on Amazon in October 2024. And these are all proven to work, like I said. The first would be Costco Business. Make sure you're set up with the business side so that you can get your invoices. The next would be Office Depot, as well as Office Max, Staples, Home Depot, soccer.com, Foot Locker, Foot Action. Those are I believe those are the same companies or owned by the same company. Frontier Co-op, EE Distribution, Kihi, and Amazon themselves, right? So a lot of these retailers, when you do purchase, they do provide invoices. If they don't, you could give them a call to their customer service, or if you're a little shy, you could just email them via their customer service email, and they should be able to provide you an invoice. And these invoices, like I said, they are proven to work with when it comes to ungating on Amazon. And just this list of retail stores by itself, it should provide you a plethora of brands, as well as items that, profitable items that you can use to get started on Amazon. More specifically, Amazon by itself, there's a thing called A2A, called Amazon to Amazon flipping. It's pretty big. I talk about it a lot in my mentorship program, but that's essentially where you find products on Amazon, you buy it for a good price, and you flip it on the Amazon platform itself. But in order to do that, if you want to use it to get ungated, you have to buy 50 items, which is hefty, but it's very worthwhile if the item is very worth it, or I mean, very profitable, and you know for a fact that you can replenish these products on a day-to-day basis, right? So take a look at these retail stores. I also have another list of even more retail stores that I talk about within my mentorship community. So let's begin with the 9-step checklist. The first would be to have an invoice within 180 days. This is just a standard. Any invoice greater than 180 days or 6 months will not work. The invoice must have your name or your business name. It doesn't really matter, but a business name that matches to your Amazon seller account would be a lot better. Make sure that the ship to address that you have on the invoice matches your Amazon account. I cannot stress this enough. If it does not match the ship to, not the ship to, but the bill to address does not match, Amazon will instantly decline. A ship to address is okay because maybe you're shipping it to a prep center or whatnot, but make sure your bill to address is the same as your registered Amazon business address on your Amazon account. The next thing that you need is to have the name and the address of the retailer or distributor that you're purchasing from. This is a must. Perhaps also on the invoice, it says invoice, sales invoice. If it says sales order, it will not work. So make sure that the invoice is being provided on the retail store does not say that. The next thing is you must purchase 10 units or 50 units from Amazon. It should be 10 units if it's from a retailer like Costco Business or Walmart or something, or even Target. 50 units from Amazon. I briefly touched on that. Pretty straightforward. It does not have to be 10 of the same products, but preferably, yes, it should be. And also, just for the sake of selling on Amazon, it's just better to buy minimum 10 of something. The next thing or the next criteria in this checklist is to print the receipt or the invoice and make them into a paper copy. So if you have a printer lying around, print it into a paper copy and scan it into a PDF. So you could do that by, you can use your phone. If you have an Apple device, an iPhone, you could use a Notes app and get a scannable copy. And I'm sure you could do the same with Android. So super simple. But before you scan it, and once you print it, highlight the item. So if you have a paper invoice, so for example, like this, right? On the other side, have it printed and you can highlight, the products, the name, the sold to address. Just make it easy for the Amazon seller support when they're auditing the invoice, that it's very easy to understand. Their job is to make everything or all the information as easy to read by having it highlighted. So, the risk of having them deny your application, make it as low as possible, right? So just make their life as easy as possible, if that makes sense. And once you have everything, you want to provide a picture of 10 items, emphasizing one of those items to show Amazon that it is the same product. I will have a picture in the next slide, but essentially you want to lay out all 10 of those products or 9 products and hold one of them in your hand where it's very, very clear what the item is and that it matches the listing that you are trying to, sell. And you can use combinedpdf.com to combine these paper invoices and as well as attach the picture of the 10 items. And once you have that, you could download it as a PDF and rename the file to brand. So if you're trying to sell Nike socks, Nike underscore and then the specific ASIN underscore invoice .pdf, right? By having this title, it helps the seller support understand that you really are serious. You're the real deal. You're trying to sell Nike. You're trying to sell that specific ASIN with those products. If the brand, if your products are not like, if all 10 of those products are not the exact same, it is okay. Just make sure that the pictures show that everything is Nike, and that the invoice, everything is Nike as well. Like I said, I really strongly recommend just buying 10 of the exact same items. If the items is not profitable, you could always return it later at a later date, and it should not cost too much money, anyways. So here's an example of a picture, right? This is a listing or application that I used to submit over last year, and I've been doing this for a very long time. It has always worked. Just upload a picture of the 9 items and you holding one of them. Make it very, very clear what it is. Band-Aid, Hydro Seal. You could also attach additional pictures of the back where it shows the UPC of the item. So for example, I have light bulbs here. Um, Here is the UPC. So you could have a picture of this as well as an additional picture where you're showing the UPC, right? Super straightforward. Just like I said, make the Amazon seller support rep their life as easy as possible, as easy to understand. So what happens if you're getting denied? It happens to everyone. It even happens to me. Sometimes, on occasion, they don't approve first try, and that just happens, right? Don't get too stumped over it. It happens to everyone, not just yourself. So what you could do if you do get denied after the first try, you can attach a screenshot of your bank statement. So you could go into your bank app and download the PDF statement, highlight that transaction. That really helps. You could also attach a screenshot of delivery confirmation if if you made the purchase online. So you could attach the shipping confirmation as well as tracking number, as well as like a screenshot of, on the UPS website of the item being delivered. That really helps. I've had students as well myself do that, and that always works. You can also, instead of uploading one big PDF under a combined PDF, you could have multiple PDFs and just submit that. You could just name it to Nike underscore bank statement, Nike underscore delivery confirmation, Nike underscore invoice. That works too, right? So just try different things, and oftentimes you will find a lot of success. Another thing is to reapply under the selling application. So under Seller Central, under the search tab on the top, at the very top, you can search selling applications and it'll bring you to that page. Rather than reapplying from the beginning, because you're just opening up multiple cases, there would be a tab that brings you to seller application where you could reapply, and that is very beneficial because you could just continuously upload. Always do that. Try not to open multiple cases because it will confuse the seller rep. And I guess the last thing would just be to build up seller account history. That's pretty straightforward. Obviously, if you're a brand new seller and you have never sold a single item in your life, getting ungated is a lot more difficult versus someone who is selling consistently, someone who has been selling for months. But that just comes, right? Everyone starts somewhere. Just find a brand that, it's very easy to ungate. And there's a lot of brands that are very easy to ungate. I know with Nike, they have began implementing like a video verification call, which is actually a very good thing because Nike is known to have a lot of fake items. So if you could get through that process, you're already one step ahead from everyone else. Just stay consistent, stay persistent. Like I said, regating and ungating, being able to ungate brands isn't the most difficult thing in the world. It is frustrating, but it's just one of the hurdles that you will jump through in order to succeed on Amazon. And if you follow this 9-step checklist, your life is very easy. It's proven to work. So I also wanted to talk about my own store. Since the last video, I think I was probably at around like 300K a month. Now I've actually scaled to 460K. I've been really, really prepping up for Q4, for Black Friday, for Christmas, and also just working with the students inside my mentorship program. I work with every student on a one-on-one basis, and I take a lot of pride in that. If you have any challenges and if you are just starting Amazon and you want to even just learn the process, learn the ropes of Amazon, I can potentially take you under my wing. We'll first have a verification call, a one-on-one call, just to get a good idea of where you're at. And perhaps, I could give you some nuggets. I could provide you some tips on how you can grow your Amazon business and even potentially go full time. I do Amazon full time, by the way. And this is just my results over the last 30 days. So anything that I learn, all the knowledge that I have learned, and any future knowledge, I consistently update and I teach all my mentorship students. And that is everything. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and follow me on my Instagram. If I provide a lot of value, I'd really appreciate, commenting, any likes, and subscribing on my YouTube page. Yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.